Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing what, in my opinion, is a really good development here in Thailand, and that is the reconsideration of the listing of cannabis as a narcotic. For those who are unaware, that has been a major bone of contention within the governing coalition here in Thailand. A lot of heated discussion, it looks to me like, at the policy level regarding this issue, and we've been covering it here for quite some time now. That said, I thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com. Article is titled, "Thailand Signals Another U-Turn on Cannabis." First things first, I want to say there have not been U-turns on this. In my opinion, a lot of the consternation caused by this has come from the fact that the media has either been very quick to jump the gun on things that are not actually occurring, or there's been a lot of pushing or nudging, if you will, of this issue in a narrative way to make it sort of flow to certain people's desires, let's put it that way. But long story short, overall, other than a few points here recently, I have felt like that the whole cannabis issue has been a good example of how Thai government works in terms of being able to come to sort of compromise positions. And fortunately, we're looking at what appears to be another one of those scenarios. Quoting directly, again, Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com, articles titled, "Thailand Signals Another U-Turn on Cannabis," quoting, "Thailand will work towards controlling the use of cannabis through legislation instead of relisting it as a narcotic." Quoting further, according to Deputy Prime Minister Anutin signaling yet another policy U-turn. Well, hold on. They were always just discussing the policy. There haven't been these U-turns. Again, I've especially in the headlines, the media has tended to sensationalize things. I get it. We all got to do clickbait and all of that good stuff. But, you know, I would love to see it be a little more straightforward in the reporting. That said, especially here recently, big tip of the hat to the Bangkok Post. You guys have done a good job, a very good job on covering this. Quoting further, Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin now agreed that legislation was the appropriate step to take, Mr. Anutin said on Tuesday. Quote, "I would like to thank the Prime Minister for considering this issue and deciding to enact an act." And I couldn't agree more with the Interior Minister, and thanks to the Prime Minister. Quoting further, said Mr. Anutin, whose Bumtai Thai party has long championed decriminalization of cannabis for medical and economic uses. Quoting further, he made the comments after talks with Mr. Srettha and Public Health Minister Somsak Tepsutin on Tuesday. The Prime Minister reportedly gave guidelines to enact an act to control the plant instead of relisting it as a narcotic. Quoting further, Commerce Minister Phumtham Wechayachai and Promin Lertsuridet, Secretary General to the Prime Minister, also attended the talks, said Mr. Anutin. Quote, "It will be a matter of law and debated in Parliament where there is already a draft law," unquote, Mr. Promin Lertsuridet told Reuters. Quote, "Whether it is a narcotic or not is up to Parliament." And thank you all. I love this. This is great to see compromise, cooler heads prevail, and ultimately Parliament making the decision regarding whether or not this thing should be relisted, how it should be relisted, etc. I think this is a very good thing overall. I think it's a positive development, not only economically, but as far as the cannabis space generally here in Thailand. Overall, I couldn't be happier if it's not readily apparent. Now, why have I been so sort of exuberant over this, or why am I exuberant over it now? I truly believe that this is one of the best things that's happened from a public policy standpoint in a number of years for Thailand. I think the economic benefits are substantial. I think the benefits to tourism are substantial. And I think while there are drawbacks to this, and let's make no mistake, there are, I think the benefits ultimately outweigh the costs. And that's one of the reasons I've been such a proponent of this, and especially a proponent of it going through Parliament. You know, rather than just rewriting it as ministerial regulations, which I wasn't even sure that there's the authority to do that. Let's set that issue aside for now, not something to worry about at the moment. As is obvious from reading this article, and I urge those who are watching this video, go check out that article for more details. But long story short, this is going back to Parliament. I think that's the perfect place, that's the proper place where it needs to be dealt with. And hopefully we can get a law hammered out that everybody can live with. And hopefully it's a law that provides even more economic benefit. I certainly know I haven't made a dime off of cannabis, or a satang, if you will, in sort of the Thai vernacular, off of cannabis in the years that it's been legalized, even though I have all my licenses and everything. I mostly did that sort of experimentally, but I have wanted to be involved with this space. It's just there's not a lot of room for somebody in the legal field when there's not a lot of laws. So, Parliament passing a law, in my opinion, would be a good thing. I just didn't think it was a good thing to just be able to flip on this overnight and do it through regulation, or what they claimed were regulation, and just relist it. Again, the issue of whether or not emergency powers were in play also, I think, came into play with regard to that analysis. That said, again, setting that aside, it looks like we're going to see this thing going through Parliament. So we will certainly keep you updated on this channel as that situation evolves.